Hops, our first episode of 2017. Happy New Year, everyone.
I feel like you gotta get more excited, Chris. I mean, we're back. From October.
I hand off the lead in to Daniel here. Dan, show us your excitement.
Woo!
Oh, if you can only see his face, he is so excited right now.
It's glowing.
That's right, though. We are back from hiatus. Last episode, I believe, was back in September that we released. So had a few months off there, and now we're back into, but we're into 2017. We'll be recording bi-weekly, so you can look for our podcasts.
We're back!
That's right. We even have new music in our podcast.
That should be the theme song.
That should be the theme song. Brought to you by Dan Kaufman. And to start off 2017, we have the theme of New Year, specifically what each of us were drinking during New Year's when the clock struck midnight. Well, sort of. each one is a bit different. But we start off with what Dan was drinking at midnight, and I'll let him introduce this wonderfully fragrant ale.
I was going to be more to the sense of, let's be honest, how many, out of all of us, were we pretty much drunk on New Year's?
Half.
Yeah, less than half because I was DD.
I'm impressed.
Wow. DD on New Year's.
Yeah.
You, sir, are a scholar and a gentleman.
I was not.
Maybe just a scholar then.
That's why you were DD.
So did you just kind of go up and they're like, all right, I'm done. I've hit my peak and I'm just going to tone out the rest of the night so I can get you guys home?
Started at dinner and just kind of drank through dinner and pre-game at 42 North and then just kind of chilled out through New Year's.
That is one of the great things about being a craft beer fan is you know your limits so well when it comes to beer. So especially, you know what to look for, you know the ABVs, you know what kind of styles will affect you more, you know when to stop so that you'll be good.
Right.
Well, I should say, ideally, most craft beer fans I know do know those kinds of limits, which
most.
Not everyone, most do.
There's a handful,
but it is a nice benefit once you drink enough. I guess practice makes perfect, really.
Yeah. So that's why you drink the high
alcohol. I thought I knew
so
my
you really know.
That's right. You got to test the limits.
Yeah, it's practice
for science, really. Science.
Yeah, that's what we'll call it.
Yeah.
I thought I knew my limit, and it just seems to be going downhill every time I end up going out drinking. I find out. The older I get, the worse it gets. And
really?
I'm not liking it.
Lower tolerance or just not handling it as well? Or?
Not handling it well. I'm fine. We, a couple days ago, we were actually all out. We were at Aurora Brewworks. I was hanging out with Chris and a buddy of ours, and we were having a couple beers, and we were like, all right, we're fine. We're going to go out and meet everybody else out. I remember having, 3 more beers that night, and I'm like, all right, the other bar's closing. We went all home. I woke up feeling like crap the next day. And I'm like, this is not normal for me. I should be fine.
Dan's getting old.
I did turn 31 in December.
Oh, he's going to be on Social Security soon.
Cheers to that. Dan 31.
Most of my friends would be like, oh, you fucking bitch. Fuck you.
All right, so, Grandpa. On New Year's.
Asshole.
You were drinking a beer that we are now drinking.
True.
What is this beer?
Lower de Boom from 21st Amendment. It is a barley wine at 11.5%. That was my first beer of 2017 at exactly 12:15 a.m. And I know that time because I looked at the clock as I was walking down the street as I cracked it open.
Key point here. So this beer isn't a can.
A nip-size can.
That's a thing apparently. A nip-size can.
That's what they call it. You
Looks
might
like
be familiar
with
the style can. It's very long, cylindrical, kind of similar to a Red Bull style can. 6 Point has a very similar one. And there's a reason why I was drinking this at midnight. I was like, it's cold out, it's raining. I kind of wanted something to warm the spirits as, I was being dragged through Chippewa, which surprisingly enough, I was very, very chipper for being down there.
He was chipper on Chippewa.
I hate you so much right now.
Fun fact, that's why they named it Chippewa.
That's a lie.
The more you know.
Because I find nothing chipper about that place.
Except you on New Year's Eve.
Well, that's probably because I was drunk and possibly a little bit stoned.
Possibly. Indeed.
But a while back, Chris and I tested this theory, and it kind of worked out well for us by grabbing some 6-point cans, and we were going out, night on the town, and we cracked open a couple resins. And surprisingly enough, no one bothered us. They just thought we were drinking plain old Red Bulls and energy
skinny
drinks.
can, bright green, late at night, so it makes sense that you'd want an energy drink. It all plays.
So my entire lineup of cans were thin, cylindrical cans. So most of my stuff was actually 6-point. And then I remembered 21st Amendment came out with a barley wine. I was like, that's going to be my nightcap. So it was just 5 6-point beers and then that. So
Nice. Were they all the same 6-point beer?
actually, since I had a party that night, I actually grabbed a little bit more. I grabbed, of course, my favorite brewery, as I tell people where I work, I whore myself out for this brewery, is Jack's Abbey, and the excess came back to me, so I grabbed a 4-pack of that too. So I started with those.
That's not a skinny can, though.
That wasn't, but that was in a house.
Ah, okay.
I needed a disguise for when I left. And then it went to a resin, a global warmer from 6-point. I had which, by the way, I think we were driving in the car, but I was not driving. I was in the back seat, and someone challenged me to chug that global warmer, and I pounded it, and I think that's when the rush came in, and I'm like, and there's the intoxication.
There it is. Hello, old friend.
So, the resin, the global warmer, their Sweet Action, which is their cream ale, and I think I grabbed a crisp too, just something light, easy drinking.
You had a great variety of 6-point there.
I did.
So you're drinking all cans that night?
I was. All canned beer.
I mean, he had this planned. He's out and about, easy to throw into pockets, keep with him. He can drink it without being accosted.
I'm not a big wine drinker, not a champagne drinker, although I do remember we did have a little bit of champagne when we got back, but I'm like, and surprisingly enough, woke up the next day. Now that's the oddity of it. I had all that, got home, went to bed, woke up, felt fine. Go out one other night, different combination hits me, and just, I'm out cold. I felt like garbage the next day, and I'm like, I hate the world.
How long were you up on New Year's?
New Year's, about the same amount of time that I was the other night. Like, probably got about sleep 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And, which, I guess, but it could be age, it could be, maybe it's I honestly wonder because...
Well, I mean, you were like a week older on Friday when we went out.
True, but I'm just also saying, I'm wondering if it's a combination of cheap, like, high-end beers versus cheap beers. I'm like, because on New Year's Eve, I was drinking some better quality product. And when I went out with you the other night, let's be honest, we were drinking Genesee and Miller High Life while we played drunken Mario Kart.
Yes. They were present.
Friday night, yes. So, if there's something to that, I think we should test this theory.
For science.
Beer, what is it? Beer Busters.
Busters.
Myths of beer.
New segment in 2017 on Beer Your Brain on Hops. Beer Busters.
Trademark it. Copyright.
We will do the hard work for you. Yeah, that sounds like a fantastic idea. We're going to have to test a variety of scenarios as well, just to be as thorough as we can.
Of course.
For science.
For science. Yeah, so Lower to Boom was my first beer, and it was a good one indeed.
At exactly 12:15. Perfect.
Yes.
This is a phenomenal beer.
Yeah, it's really good. Hell of a beer to start the night off with.
And I love the fact that it's not so strong on the boozy end. At least not to me. It's warming, but it's not... It doesn't burn.
Yeah, it's present, but it's not overpowering.
And it doesn't try to hide the alcohol by getting too sweet, which some barley wines do. Mm-hmm. It's a good balance still.
It really is. You get like that nice kind of... You get a really heavy malt characteristic. It is kind of a very nice kind of thing to keep you warm. Like I was like, wow, this just came out of a little tiny can for me to just sip and go down the road with, and no one's pissing me off.
Yeah, this was a fantastic choice for beer to drink at midnight while it's cold, while you're outside.
It was raining that night. Like I saw miserable people. Like I gotta be honest, there were some horrific sights. Like I felt bad for specifically girls. Like it was pouring rain at one point. I'm pretty sure in Buffalo, And I saw a girl just going down the street, like, mascara running. Like, I'm pretty sure she didn't have shoes, like, cold. And I'm like, how did you find yourself in this predicament?
It's New Year's, man.
Yeah. I don't think rain-appropriate attire was on many minds when preparations were being made.
Like, my girlfriend, she pulled me away because she was afraid I was going to get into a fight. And I'm just like, no, I'm just people watching because this is a shit show. Let's be honest here. I'm like, I came in here fully well knowing that this is crap downtown. And my favorite part was, by the time we were done, like, I saw this look on her face, and I'm like, something's wrong. And I'm like, are you pissed off at me? And I'm like, because I've been very, very chipper, and it could be the 11.5 barley wine talking. But I'm like, something seems up. And she's like, my buzz is going away, my high is going away, and I'm just so over this area. And I'm like, you finally understand. We should be home right now. Let's go to bed.
And Dan's heart grew 2 sizes that night.
You are my equal pop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, well played. Your beer lineup for a night out and a dreary Buffalo night was fantastic.
And I was pretty kind of. It was like I had no problem like going out with my friends, and they were great. I was with a great group of people, but I am not a big group like the party downtown type person. So I prepared. I made a beer survival kit.
The only thing that would have made it better is if you had a bandolier going across your chest.
I'm pretty sure the cops would have stopped me.
That would have been pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Sir,
would have been worth
there was
it.
security everywhere, and there's a guy coming in with a bandolier.
You're feeling a bit down, you just pop another one out, chug it, back into the
I
groove.
share one with the cop. I'm like, well, I don't know what you're doing, but I know you're taking me downtown, but want some? It's New Year's after all.
Taste this new energy drink. It's hoppy. Is there a hoppy energy drink? I mean, not just like an alcoholic energy drink. Those usually taste like shit. I mean, an actually good tasting energy drink that kind of has a bitter hop aroma.
Project to work on. Take that out of the podcast, Chris. Get me a shit ton of guarana.
You mean Future Dan?
Future Dan, yes.
That's right.
Guarana or caffeine. Do they still do ephedra anymore?
I guess we're going to find out.
Get a bunch of Cascade hops.
Yeah.
Actually, what hops would say energy? I'm trying to think of what...
That would spell out energy?
Not spell out energy, but like a twist we could play on a word, like a hop style. I'm trying to think of all the...
I mean, alpha hops. That's a bold name.
That's a bold one. Alpha.
I always found Galaxy a bit uplifting of a name.
Yeah. And Galaxy is a very delicious hop.
It is. It's wonderful. I'm not going to say no to a beer made from Galaxy hops.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that is my beginning of 2017.
Excellent. Well, let's crack open my beer and continue.
Yeah, let's do that, Chris. Ooh, that is some dank shit, Chris.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
And Chris, you drank this at midnight?
Did you?
Excellent point, Alex. I did not drink this at midnight. What I drank at midnight was a Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, something we don't have here.
Told you.
Not
But it's not
here,
our forte on the show.
To be fair, I think I'd be shit at making it anyway. Anything involving eggs and liquors, not to be trifled with.
More my forte.
But yeah,
Isn't it a warm
more Dan's
drink?
forte. It is a warm drink, yeah. It has, I think, rum and brandy.
It's kind of a take
base,
on
maybe
eggnog.
whiskey. Yeah, and then the top of it is like an eggnog mixture.
But from what I can tell,
it's
I think
warmed
you whisk... Essentially, you make a meringue out of the eggs, and you mix it back in. Sometimes it's done with actually hot chocolate, and sometimes it's eggnog.
Yeah, the effect is delicious, but we were at the place in Buffalo,
Also
and
delicious.
that's kind of what they're known for. So I got one of those, and the clock struck 12, and I was drinking that.
But what was
and
the
then,
first beer you had, Chris?
The first beer I had was a Stone IPA, which was right after that.
Solid choice.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the classic IPAs, so why not? Yeah, the entire night actually. The Stone. I think that was my first beer that night. I had a bit of whiskey earlier, some
I told you
wine.
you'd be drinking spirits and cocktails.
Yep.
I called
Yeah,
it.
and wine.
And wine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fancy
branching
up in
out.
that bitch.
So you hit like everything. Did you have any
I
mead?
did by the end. No, I didn't have any mead. That's
Kombucha?
in hindsight. That's on me. I did have a Gruit.
I've been loving meads lately, but they're fucking expensive.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is like ice wine expensive, and we've got a couple at ABW, and like Bee Nectar makes a really good apple pie that runs about $15. But we got in some really beautiful ones that I really want to try, but they're running like $30 a pop, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna set this for a different day.
Yeah, especially since for a beer that I know was fantastic, like sure, whatever they're gonna charge for 120 minute, I'm gonna pay it.
Right enough to 120.
But oh yeah, first mention of 120 in 2017, well, first of many. But yeah, I'll pay whatever. But for a mead, I like meads, but I'm not gonna go out of my way or pay too much.
We got some
for
free
it.
mead in that box right there.
Is that the still the mead that you brewed?
Yep.
Nice.
Maybe I should chill one.
I think you should just give me one now.
Nah.
The important thing was how long he thought about it.
You said it was free.
For me, it's a crack open right now.
I asked you for one of those months ago,
I vote-
before we went on hiatus.
I vote for the cracking open of the mead.
I vote
Not
for
right now.
letting me
No,
have
obviously.
First, we're gonna finish drinking a beer that I did bring, which I literally just opened up my fridge and grabbed a beer, and
You didn't even go out of your way for us.
and there we are today. It's a glass of dankness.
We had a plan, and you deviated from it.
Yes, I did.
He puts in so much work.
He does.
That's why they call me the deviator.
Nobody calls you.
I was going to
that.
say that.
So yeah,
They just call you a liar.
Dr. Zaic
Satyr.
by Ithaca, single hop mosaic IPA. A lot of fruit character.
There's such a big hop aroma to this.
Yeah. It's really
But
piney.
it's not bitter. I don't find a lot of bitterness to it, but I kind of like it.
I think it's got a nice bite at the back, but it goes away really quick. I get a hint of blueberry.
Yeah,
I'm on the site, and
just a hint though.
does anybody else have not like a lack of information to them about this beer on Ithaca Beer Dot?
The only thing I
maybe I'm on
found
the
was
wrong.
it's in their
I'm on the
12 pack.
Wait, I'm not on their site. God damn
Mine
it.
seems fine. ABV 7.5.
See, I'm on the wrong site. I just realized.
You're like,
I'm on a
why
site.
why don't they have the Ithaca beer on the non-Ithaca brewing
Well, it's
site?
giving me beer information. I'm like, this is the weakest description of a beer
He's
that
still
I've
on
ever seen.
21st Amendment site. Where's Dr. Zaic?
Hashtag internet problems.
I was on some site called Tap Hunter, and I'm like, this gives me a one sentence and inaccurate, possibly information. You would think when you typed in Ithaca Brewing, Dr. Zaic Beer, it would give you the first possible site, which would be the brewery. But no,
Yeah.
the internet lies.
Google
I feel like
seems
they're
somewhat
always-
inaccurate when you type in beer names.
Yeah, it
a lot
always
of
brings
times.
you to like Beer Advocate and
Rate beer, Untapped.
Yeah.
Sometimes the brewery won't even be on the first page, which is kind
Yeah.
of bullshit, really.
Yeah.
But
For some of the smaller breweries.
yeah.
So,
So
smaller brewery, it's just like, it's theirs.
yeah, it's true. Ithaca didn't pop up, and that's I wouldn't consider that a small brewery.
You know what's awesome, though? When you type in your brain on hops, we come up as the first one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, motherfuckers.
There ain't
SEO
nobody
at
like
play.
us. The original OG.
That's right. I can't say that, so I'm glad you did. Yeah, so
I'm ashamed of myself right now.
get on that Google. Go ahead and fix your beer algorithms so that breweries pop up better.
But please, keep us at the top.
But yeah. we meant no offense.
God, get your priorities straight.
Just trying to help. Just trying to help.
Just trying to help. Concerned citizen of the internet.
Fuck you, Ithaca.
This is a really nice beer, though.
Dan does not seem like he's having good luck with the internet right now.
Well, who lets you go to the first front page of a site, but when you check on, hey, what beers do you actually have? Then they ask you if you're 21 and older.
I don't know beer law.
It's a website. At 18, I can look at porn. I should be allowed to look at a beer can online.
I'm sorry, but at 18, you're allowed to look at porn?
Okay, truth be told, yes.
If you have a
Okay.
computer, you can look at porn.
But I'm saying law-wise. Yes, if you got a computer, you can look for it.
Dan turns 18.
Ninth graders with cell
He's
phones
like-
can look.
Dan's like, I've been waiting for this day for so long. I'm finally 18.
I was a late bloomer. I didn't understand.
Walking into like Barnes and Noble, going to the magazines for Playboy.
Hustling.
Proudly displaying his license. I am now 18. I would like to buy this periodical.
What year is that?
I don't know, you're so old. I didn't I had the internet back then.
It was 2004 when I was 18.
Calm down, Grams.
Yeah, come on.
You're the same age as me.
I'm a few days younger.
A few days makes all the difference.
Exactly.
All right, so let's talk about the news.
News? What news?
We have news?
There's news?
We have news.
News.
So first up in the news, Keurig, God bless him, failed brilliantly
Failure.
with their Keurig cold idea. It's officially discontinued. They're not making Keurig cold anymore.
What exactly was that?
That was for like homemade sodas. You're like, you know what? I don't want to drink soda out of a bottle or a can.
I'm going to go make it in my shitty ass home.
I'm gonna go make my own bottle of soda.
That seems like the most work for something so simple.
Yeah.
It's like, why am I going through all this effort?
But they decided to take that idea that didn't work and transfer it into beer. So there's not many details right now, but the whole idea is Keurig's going to have some kind of system set up for home brewing a quick cup of beer.
But how? Like the thing I'm trying to figure out is it involves like just basic beer knowledge. It's fermentation, which takes time. You can't. How do you get? You can't get an instantaneous unless you've just got alcohol in a bottle. Hey, put this bottle in. We're gonna dump in a concentrate of. I mean, it is they're partnering with Anheuser-Busch, so technically they don't need much flavor. But,
right, I mean, if you're just trying to get a Budweiser out of it, yeah, I guess there could be like a flavoring that goes in that
which sounds really gross
carbonates
to me.
it, and
That's true. When you think of beer and efficiency and consistency, AB InBev comes up. Flavor does not.
correct.
Enjoyability does not.
Yeah,
But efficiency and consistency,
but if
I
you
think
want
of those
alcohol
words.
in your body,
If you want to drink 4.5% of flavorless water at a time,
So they just
and
add
pee
a
every 10
concentrate.
minutes.
So they add a concentrate like of just flavor, like corn flavor, alcohol, and then you just add fizzy water.
yeah,
Sounds
that's
like the
pretty
worst-
much
Oh,
it.
no. That's what the
how about
Keurig
this?
does,
We be
though.
adults, just get a goddamn kegerator. That's what you do, people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for the cost of what this will probably be.
Truth be told,
probably could
if
get
you
a
are really
kegerator.
that heavy onto like just a blue or Budweiser or something like that, the keg will probably be cheaper. So spend sometimes about $150, get a 2-tap kegerator, go to your local keg beer store, pay $45 for a half keg of beer, and go to town. It doesn't make sense to me to have a shitty ass Keurig for one glass of beer.
Right, because of that beer, who the hell is drinking one of them?
and with beer, the first thing I think of is I want to wait for my second glass. I don't want to go get it right away. I want to push something and wait for some water to do stuff, and then I want it like a few minutes from now.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of the Keurig as it is, just even in coffee terms. I'm just like, no, if I'm going to have coffee, I'm usually drinking 2 cups. I'm going to go make a pot of coffee, or I'm going to use my French press, and I'm going to make coffee. Some delicious coffee. I'm going to take some time, a little effort, and I'm going to go drink about 2-3 cups of coffee in my morning.
Sounds like a fine morning.
But the whole process of just getting individual shitty plastic cups to insert and set and have to do this every time is more effort than it's worth.
Although, I have to say, so there's a couple of Keurig or Keurig-like machines at my office at work. I mean, if they got like a Keurig that makes beer, I probably wouldn't mind that.
What if they just put in a full stock bar, Chris?
Just to have that
Well, I mean,
flavor. At work.
We can't all dream, Dan.
Wait, your building has a bar downstairs.
You have to pay for. The coffee's free. Which I assume the beer would be as well if we had a beer curing machine.
But now you have to think about that. What would be the cost of that beer? How much would it cost to cheapen a product that's already so cheap?
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're literally taking a cheap-ass product and bastardizing it more to me.
Budweiser, the price per ounce is not high.
Unless you're in Canada in a hotel room.
Yeah, then oh my God, is it expensive.
What was it? We were at Fairmont, New York, and for a case of Budweiser, a case, keep in mind you, the grand total of what they wanted for this was like $170.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
This is like the price that I would pay for 120. But I'd be getting Budweiser.
But that's an import to them.
It's a fancy import. It is.
But I think even Labatt Blue was like $150. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
way to still have that upcharge on a beer I don't want.
That was surprising. I figured, well, especially with those prices and a nicer place like that, I figured there'd be like, even if it was like for $2.75, you can get a case of, I don't know, something nice, like a case of 60-minute Dogfish Head or something. But like an outrageous price, sure, because it's a hotel, everything's in house, it's going to be more expensive.
Even then,
but still, have that option.
You're getting charged, like even in that hotel, it was like you were getting charged an upcharge for them to bring you a single beer. If it was just one bottle, it's like already a $9 bottle. Then they say, hey, because we're bringing this to you and it's room service, we have to add on $3. So now it's become a $12 bottle. And I'm like, so I'm paying $12 for a 12-ounce bottle of Budweiser. I can go out and go to, Bar Hop. I can go out to Verst. I can go out to numerous places in Canada. I can get something delicious. And that thing is probably going to cost me about anywhere from $5 to $8 a pint.
But there's one important caveat to that. You have to put pants on to go to those places.
Dude, fuck pants.
Exactly.
Oh my God, Chris.
And
I
that's
just
why
realized
people buy
something.
bottles of Budweiser for $12.
Exactly.
It's my favorite hotel, and I have yet to do something. I have not done a shower beer in a hotel room.
Oh. Well, that was a lot more PG than I thought. And also...
Yeah,
What did you think I was going to go with this?
and
How
also...
dark did you think I could take this?
It got dark.
Yeah.
That actually... It never even occurred to me to do that. I'm kind of surprised you haven't, though.
I didn't even
Especially
think about
you were just back in December.
I was. Didn't really have much time to do much. I was in these breweries for my birthday in Toronto, and Mill Street, very cool place. Just kind of, I was mostly on the patio, and I got to taste some of their stuff. But I was at like Steam Whistle. I still don't understand Steam Whistle. Cool brewery, but it's just like, wait, you're a brewery that just does one beer. And one beer only. So pretty much aren't you just a restaurant that serves food and things? But I
do think that's weird that they only do one beer.
you'd think they would do something special or a take on what they've already done, but they're set on, we're going to perfect this one beer. It's like, how far can you really take just a Pilsner?
It is I enjoyed my time there because it was a crushable Pilsner. So I just hung out for a couple
good.
hours.
But it's
ordering
like,
them. And the absence of choice is actually kind of comforting.
Because you go and you're like, I'll take a beer.
Yeah. And I'm not thinking of Untapped. I'm not thinking of what kind of style I'm up for. I'm not thinking about what kind of ABV I want at that time. I'll have a beer. And I get the beer and I enjoy it. I can drink it quickly. I'm not going to get buzzed because of it because it is a Pilsner.
Does that beer pair well with all the food on the menu?
It's mostly prep, like snack foods. Pretzel,
Yeah,
like
for the
really
kind
long
of beer,
pretzels and
or
stuff
for
like
the kind of food they have, that kind of pub food. Yeah.
Nothing fancy, but it was just like, I thought about it for a while. I was like, well, I drank this. I had a full pint, but I'm looking for something. I'm like looking around for a second. I'm like, am I getting snobbish? But I'm like, I guess I could just drink this again. But I'm like, I know there's other things out there. To the world.
Well, think about the way we drink now is that we crack open one beer and then when it's done, we go to the next beer. It's not that, we don't, but most of the time you end up drinking like one or two of one beer and then you move on to another beer. and a different style. And so I think, at least for us and a lot of our friends, that's kind of how we drink. So when you get to a place like that, and it's like, I'm going to be drinking this beer the rest of the night.
I guess I'm always looking for a happy medium. Like, there's places like ABW, 42 North, or, any brewery really, it's, I don't know, what would you say, anywhere between 6 to 12 taps of, just different styles, but that's it. Then I go into some place like a Griffin pub, 100 taps, 70 taps, and it's like, all right, I'm having a bit of a difficulty just finding something that I can drink. Like, we can hone this in. It'll probably go a lot smoother. There's too much going on in my brain. I don't know where to go next.
I do like on their menu that they actually say, like, the IPAs, the porters and stouts. They actually break it down into the styles, so at least you can actually look for, all right, I'm feeling like an IPA right now, so I'm going to look at the IPA list.
I have to say, as much at Griffin Pub, I went to the one out. They have 3 locations, and I was at the one in Clarence, and I was at the one out in East Aurora that just opened up. And I mean, food is great, staff is friendly, but for some reason, there's always, like, they have these gems on there that if you really love beer, you know what they are. It's frightening when I see Bourbon County at 22 ounces a pour, which to me should never happen legally. But at the same time,
and ethically.
Yeah. But I look at their menu and I'm going through it. I have a hard time finding something I want to drink. I mean, those jewels that are kind of hidden in there, the Firestone Eldorados and things like that, I really enjoy it, but I can't keep drinking those all night long. So when I look for that, I just want something kind of enjoyable. I kind of go through the list and I'm like, there's not much here I kind of want. And that kind of discourages me a lot. And I've talked to a couple other people and they have that same problem. It's almost too much. I almost need I need you to force that choice on me just a little bit. Take away some of my options.
They should have a steam whistle there. And whenever you're not sure what kind of beer you want next, just go for the steam whistle.
Yeah.
Clean taste, you're going to enjoy it. You know something's coming up next. It's not like you're going to drink it the rest of the night.
They did have one that one night, and that was a Jack's Abbey. I was like, Kiwi Rising, give me it. 22 ounce, that's what I want.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. You had a big smile on your face when you got a 22 ounce Jack's Abbey.
Last time I was at Griffin, I had a 22 ounce of the No Pressure from Thin Man.
Ooh.
That was very good.
That's a good beer that gets 22 ounces of.
Yeah. At first, I was like, do I need this? And this was actually on New Year's Eve. I was like, do I need 22 ounces right now? I am DD, but I am walking to 42 North, so
there you
22
go.
it is.
God bless
We
exercise.
actually had that at the brewery, and that was fantastic, actually.
Yeah, I quite enjoy No Pressure.
It's a very good beer.
Well, different news story. So a couple weeks ago, Wall Street Journal had an article, and I don't know why, but very recently they've been focusing a lot on beer. Seems like at least once a month, if not more, they have a feature article on beer. And a couple weeks ago, they had one on the regionalization of beer in America. So they're focusing on craft breweries and different styles developing in different areas. Some examples were like one that we talk about on the show a lot, the New England IPA. There were a couple that I really wasn't aware were a thing. Like there's a Southwest Scotch Ale. Apparently a lot of breweries in the Southwest, like Arizona, New Mexico, are creating Scotch Ales for 2 reasons. One, it's not as heavy as a porter or a stout, which is just shit to drink when it's that hot out. But it has enough kind of backbone to it to bite through some spicy food that they have down there, which makes sense. But that was a pretty neat article about regionalization. Sadly, they didn't talk about Buffalo, Western New York, which they only focus on a few regions, so I understand them not focusing here. But got me thinking about like New York styles and what's going on in
New
Buffalo.
York style.
Or I guess Buffalo style.
Every time
Western
you say that,
New
I
York
think of
style. Chicken wing beer.
Ooh, I thought about that, like a chili beer, Buffalo chicken with chili beer. Like, could you pull it off? Please just do not take a bottle of like Frank's Red Hot Sauce and just dump it into something.
Yeah, don't do that.
No offense, but I see like resurgence doing that. Like, hey, we've got sponge candy, we got Loganberry, now we've got Buffalo chicken wing. We use Frank's Red Hot Sauce. Like, please, just don't.
That'd be an interesting thing to pursue. If you can get the same kind of heat that you get from like well, not directly from
Mostly
hot
would be
sauce,
cayenne.
but like yeah, exactly. But have it not be overpowering in the beer. Have it so that it's
Cayenne.
still enjoyable.
A cayenne
Kinda like
lambic,
the,
get that tanginess of blue cheese in as I vomit in my mouth.
All right,
Yeah, let's stop talking about a chicken wing beer.
especially not a chicken wing and
'Cause I
blue
am
cheese
getting
beer.
a little.
All right, in that
Turtles
case,
as you drink.
all right, Plan B. Let's create the perfect beer to drink with chicken wings.
I was thinking beef on weck beer.
I have had salty beers.
Yeah, a little bit
salty
of salt, the caraway seed.
Yeah.
Caraway.
You can use that as flavor too.
A nice toasted bun.
Yeah, a toasty, bready character to the beer.
There's some
There's a
potential here.
possibility.
Yeah. And then the ultimate test, of course, drinking it with a beef on weck.
Mm-hmm.
That might be worth pursuing. It's just as iconic as chicken wing with none of the grossness.
So the beer that you would drink with chicken wings, how hot?
Let's go hot, but not scorching your mouth.
Okay, so some decent hot wings.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna. You were there actually when we were at Barbell, and I ordered wings.
Oh,
I
yeah.
ordered hot,
Ooh.
and Chris heard me just
Medium
go,
hot is hot.
Oh, I went hot. As far as I was like, I want to make it hurt tonight.
What, eating or afterwards?
I just wanted to feel
whole
pain.
experience.
I just want to burn through and through.
Just need to take in the flavor. I was like, I was eating them at home, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm gonna hate myself. I love it so much.
Maybe that's why you felt like shit in the morning.
I didn't even think about that. The chicken wings did it.
The hot
How dare
sauce
you
chicken
betray me?
wings.
So the every session of my soccer team, we're called Barbell. So after every game, we go to Barbell for wings and beer and everything. And the last game of every session, we get a plate of roulette wings. It's all medium and one suicide, and everybody has to take one wing.
Have you ever lost?
I have not gotten the suicide.
Have you ever
Dan-
had the suicide?
I have not, and I do not plan
You
on it.
need to.
Dan and I did that once.
So good.
We, and plus we were talking about it with the waiter. And anyway, from the kitchen, they brought out a bowl of way too much suicide sauce. And then 3 wings. I think there was 3 of us total that tried it.
4, because we
Four.
were with 2 friends of ours.
Yeah, so 4 total, and they were just swimming in the suicide sauce. And of course, you could smell it. You knew it was going to be painful, but you had to do it anyway. And it lived up to the name more than any other suicide sauce I've had. Easily.
Hallucinogenic. I looked over at Chris, and he's just beating up sweat. But the things that I'm feeling, I'm like this euphoria of every endorphin coming out of my it's. I don't feel I'm sweating, but I'm just like. I started realizing, I don't feel pain. It's actually numbing my mouth, but I know that this is bad.
It took a moment for the pain to really come to the forefront. You got the physical reactions.
It was great.
Besides the pain, and then the pain came.
I've watched my buddy eat 10 of them.
What?
It's a drug.
And
It
I was
really is
just
a
like,
drug.
I don't know how you're doing it because I smell it. And I'm just like, no thanks.
That's
I like hot stuff, but no.
That's
I don't-
madness.
Powering through, or is he just like this is nothing?
Oh yeah, he would just sit there and just keep eating.
Yeah,
He never
you're-
stopped and took a break. He just kept going and he was just
he's
eating,
like, if I stop,
eating.
if the bill's gonna hit me, I'm like, I just gotta keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. See, that's
He finished them, and I was just like, "You're
And then
the,
he
you're the
hated
fucking
himself.
man."
and a little part of him died that day.
Part of his asshole came out.
R.I.P.
What did you do?
I just felt bad for his girlfriend that night.
That's a
She had to
dedicated.
spend the night with him.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, on that happy note,
Fiery assholes.
fight on fire,
Fiery
assholes.
I think my
Seriously, we never answered that question. What beer do you drink with a chicken wing?
with a decent amount of heat, I would say Founders All Day IPA is probably my choice. The hop character really mellows out heat, and it has enough flavor to stand up to heat.
Really? 'Cause
And it's
hops
low in
always
alcohol, so it doesn't
accentuates.
amplify the heat.
I just find something that's hoppy accentuates heat.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think so.
I mean,
I
with
think
that,
it kills
it's
heat.
it's hoppy, but
But
it's not.
here's the other thing: are the IPAs you're drinking with it, are they higher in alcohol? Because alcohol amplifies flavor, so
Yeah.
amplifies heat.
Yeah, even I've had spicy food with lower ABV IPAs though, and the bitterness still kind of accentuates it for me.
No, not for
I
me.
go malty.
Malty.
I go for that just amber style, kind of simple, sweeter kind of a beer if I'm going towards something a little spicier.
See that's probably the opposite approach for me. I like a crispy beer that's really not too sweet. Within that spectrum, it depends on what I'm going for. If I want some of that heat to come out, which again, with IPAs for me, then I'll go with the crispy IPA. If not, then I'll usually go with some kind of lager or pilsner, preferably Jack's Abbey if it's available.
Yes.
But in any
thinking
case,
about-
more
You
of
just
a
gave him a boner.
yeah.
I was thinking about just a plate of wings and a Copper Legend sitting right there.
Copper Legend.
Oh, so fucking good.
Such a good
I
beer.
miss that beer so much.
He's actually hugging himself right now, just thinking about when it'll
shaking.
return.
I've got withdrawals, man.
Jones in for some Copper Legend.
You know what I'm jonesing for?
Another beer.
My New Year's Eve beer.
Thank you, Alex.
No problem.
Welcome back, everybody. Alex's compliments and Dan's compliments to the beer.
It is what it is.
Well, it is very effervescent.
It is very effervescent in the best way possible. Alex, go ahead and introduce us to your midnight beer.
So I did not get this after midnight. I had this roughly 11:30, but I was just still
Because
sipping
you
on
were
it.
responsible DD
Yes.
that night.
Exactly. And it's
Every
9%.
pound in 22 ounces.
It's called Bier de Brut. It's from 42 North. Bier de Brut is Belgian. It's a Belgian style, but it's like a champagne beer, and that's exactly what it is. It's very effervescent. It has that Belgian character to it, and that's where most of the flavors derive from. The Belgian. What are you doing?
Ignore me.
Okay.
Dan is doing phone things right now.
He's taking videos or
He's trying
pictures.
to avoid himself.
Future Dan, cut that out.
Keep talking. God, I said ignore me.
The other name for it is Bier de Champagne. So it was nice to have a champagne beer at midnight.
Yeah, this is very, very good. This reminds me of I forgot the name of it. Something from Brooklyn, I believe. Brooklyn Brewery.
Really?
That was I don't know if it was officially sparkling or whatnot, but it was more effervescent as a beer.
One of their big 22-ounce bottles.
Yeah. One of their bigger guys. I don't know if it was seasonal, but I don't believe they're brewing it anymore. But I was a big fan of that guy. I'll see if I can find it here in my records. But I actually really like these kind of effervescent beers. Well, when it's done right. When it's done poorly,
Yeah.
it just tastes like they messed up and it's too carbonated.
Yeah. These beers, being so big, they're meant to be aged, long fermentation, maturization is the word, I guess. This beer is coming in at 9%.
9%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Wow.
was a higher one.
That's an impressive ABV on that guy.
This is probably what did me in that night.
That, and then the other one that I had was the Imperial Stout that we had with rum-soaked oak added to it.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was very good.
How was the...
The party at 42 is...
So it's just... Dan is doing very distracting things here.
I am not doing anything. I told you to ignore me.
He's twisting in weird ways in his chair to get his camera in certain positions.
My night started with Arriba tortilla. Getting a little Mexican and a few margaritas. Delicious
Nice.
margaritas. And then over to Griffin for a beer over there with my parents. And then Went to 42. Place was packed. There was a
That
lot
keg
of people.
drop.
Yeah.
I went last year, and it wasn't really the keg drop, but it was just nice and kind of easy going and everything. But the brewery kind of just opened up and everything, so it was a little lower key. This year, it just looked like a madhouse. I'm like,
Yeah, it was.
I was a little saddened by that, though. I was like, I kind of wanted to go down there. I'm like, too much.
Yeah,
now it's too much.
There's quite a few people. It wasn't hard to like move around though, so it wasn't too packed. But they had the keg drop. It was pretty much they just decorated the keg in the brewery and they lowered it down as the ball. It was good. They had a projection of the time countdown. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a pretty neat idea. So I found it, by the way, the beer I was talking about. It's The Companion from Brooklyn Brewery. It was a wheat wine style, but it had kind of a lighter, effervescent, little bit of a fruity character like this beer. Yeah, I was a big fan of that beer. I'll have to look for that again. Add it to my to-do list.
Does it say that it was discontinued? Are you on their website?
No, I looked it up on Untapped. I was just looking through my check-ins with Brooklyn Brewery. Only 3 monthly, and most of the check-ins aren't recently, so I'm pretty sure it's just bottles that were, bottled a few years ago. It's still floating around. That one was 10% as well, so bit of a stronger beer without really tasting like it, like this guy.
Right. There's not too many wheat wines out there. It's a style that hasn't really caught on yet, but who did one? I think it was Founders. I had a Founders wheat wine that was aged in a bourbon barrel that after the bourbon was in it, it had maple syrup in it, I believe. Sweet Respute, I believe it was called.
Sounds like all good things.
Yeah, it was delicious. It was
done.
very good.
Well, I guess we're wrapping up.
Yeah?
Yeah? Okay. See you, losers.
Dan tried to knock his mic over and failed.
Yeah.
Well, the first time. The second time
It
he did
didn't
it.
fail. It's just down.
Yeah. It just took a bit of effort. Tripods are surprisingly resilient. Sticky wicket. All right, everyone.
Those sturdy structures.
Thank you for joining us. Check us out, our website, yourbrainonhops.com. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter, both Brain on Hops. Instagram as well. We'll be posting some photos of on Instagram, some beers we've had recently. I think Dan will be posting stuff from this night, if his phone was any indication. just one photo. So, check out our social media, and he's still distracting me with the social media bit.
Thanks for sticking with us.
And leave a comment as well. Anything you want us to drink or check out at new breweries. All right, thanks everyone. Cheers.
Happy
Cheers.
New Year.